not going to go the way you think. Fulfill your destiny.
I need someone to show me my place in all this.
Star Wars The Last Jedi had finally arrived, and it's directed by Rian Johnson, and it stars Daisy Ridley, John Boyega, Oscar Isaac, Adam Driver, Mark Hamill, Carrie Fisher, and Kelly Marie Tran. I hope I said her name right. Basically, this movie, right when it left off from The Force Awakens, Rey has came to the island to find Luke Skywalker so he can train her to be a proper Jedi. While that's happening, the Resistance, including Finn, Poe Dameron, BB-8, and Leia basically had to figure a way to destroy the First Order. So guys, that's all I'm going to say for the plot, because there are some plot points in the movie that I don't want to spoil. This review, guys, is a non-spoiler review. Usually in my styles review saying that review contains spoilers. This one doesn't. You are safe with me, guys. This is a non-spoiler review. I might do a spoiler review maybe in the next video. I'm not that sure. I'm not sure if I'm going to go out and see this film again, which I totally will, but I would come back and do a spoiler review for you guys. I promise you guys. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow and see what I can remember from the movie I've seen. But I was really excited for The Last Jedi because I am a huge Star Wars fan, if you don't know me. I really love the original Star Wars trilogy, one of the best movies of all time. I really hate the prequel trilogy, except for the third one. The third one's decent, but then The Force Awakens came out, and it was probably my favorite movie of 2015, and it still is. It surprised me. I thought it's not going to be as great as the other movies out there. It was phenomenal. The characters were fantastic. We had a great villain. And it's a great start to the sequel trilogy. And Rogue One: A Star Wars Story was just good. It wasn't great. I still put it on my top 10 list because I did have a lot of fun with it. But it wasn't the best Star Wars film. But of course I am excited for The Last Jedi most of all because it took from the director Rian Johnson. If you don't know him, he directed a movie called Looper with Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Bruce Willis. One of the best science fiction films of 2012. It was amazing and original, and I really enjoyed that film from start to finish. So I'm more excited for this movie because of the director, and I watched the first 2 trailers and they look amazing. I just watched the first 2 trailers. I haven't watched any TV spots or clips because I don't want anything to give me away. But the first 2 trailers were amazing, and it gave me pumped to see this movie. So I went out and saw this movie. Finally, I've been waiting for this for a long time. I've reviewed all the Star Wars movies leading up to this. I'm just hoping that this movie didn't disappoint me. So I went out Star Wars The Last Jedi just now, and what do I think of it? Star Wars The Last Jedi, you are the worst movie of the year. I'm kidding. You are the best movie of the year. I freaking loved The Last Jedi. I thought this movie bet The Force Awakens in my personal opinion, and 100% it did beat Rogue One: A Star Wars Story. This is probably my favorite Star Wars movie in a sequel trilogy overall. I really enjoyed this movie from start to finish most of all. I really enjoyed The Last Jedi. I could watch this movie so many times because I think this is my favorite movie of 2017. I think it bet Dunkirk, I think it bet Logan, Baby Driver, all of the A+s I gave this year. The positives I could give to this film the most are the cast. They did a phenomenal job. Daisy Ridley as Rey, phenomenal in this film. She was fantastic. I loved her in The Force Awakens. This film, I think this is the better Rey I have seen on the big screen. She has heart in this film most of the time, and I really enjoyed Daisy Ridley's performance. She's going to have a bright future ahead of her. She was probably the best main characters I've seen since ever. I also like John Boyega as Finn. He came back to life after what happened to Kylo Ren. He was still the Finn that I know him from The Force Awakens. John Boyega, you can tell he is always excited to be in a Star Wars film. He is having a lot of fun doing this film, and I really love John Boyega in this film. He's a really fun character. Speaking of fun characters, Oscar Isaac as Poe Dameron. Now, the flaw with him in The Force Awakens is that he wasn't much in The Force Awakens. So that did disappoint me because I wanted to see more from Poe Dameron. So I'm more excited to see him in this film, and thank God we see more Poe Dameron than we thought we got to see him in. He was fantastic. I love Oscar Isaac in this film. Poe Dameron is just a fun character. He's probably the funnest character in the Star Wars movie with Han Solo, in my personal opinion. He was really fun. I really loved him in this film. He also has heart as well, which I really loved that. Let's talk about Adam Driver as Kylo Ren. Or, if you have seen The Force Awakens, his name is Ben Solo. And basically, he did phenomenal in this film. Probably one of the best villains of the year. There is a weird chemistry with him and Rey, which I thought is very different to different chemistries I've seen on the big screen, but I loved it. I really love Adam Driver in this film's Kylo Ren. I loved it in the first movie, especially when he outmasked himself. It was fantastic. This movie, he was better than he was in The Force Awakens. He was very menacing. I also love Princess Leia in the film as well, and it's really sad because Carrie Fisher had passed away, recently passed away. And it's very sad for everybody because I really love Princess Leia in the Star Wars movies. This is her very last performance, which is kind of legend actually. She was amazing. Princess Leia, she was amazing for her last movie. Best Carrie Fisher performance, and I'm glad she had finished this movie before she died, because if she hasn't, the production issues will have problems. So, Carrie Fisher, you're fantastic in this film. Rest in peace. Hope heaven is great for you, because you were great in this movie. Also, there's some new characters in this film as well. We also have Kelly Mary Tran as this girl named Rose in the film, that I think she's one of the most interesting characters in this film. She had a very terrible past, but I really enjoyed her performance in this film. She was actually funny, and she was actually really fun. Her chemistry with Finn was awesome. It was so hilarious. There are some parts in the film that I did nearly chuckled. But what can we left off with the casting of the movie without Mark Hamill as Luke Skywalker? I was more excited for him in this movie. I love Luke Skywalker in the original trilogy. Mark Hamill, this is probably the best Luke Skywalker I've seen on screen. Him with Rey, the chemistry, phenomenal. This movie has full of chemistries, good chemistries. But my favorite chemistry out of them all is Luke Skywalker and Rey. They were great together, and Mark Hamill was phenomenal in this movie. There's a lot of great moments with Luke Skywalker in this film, and there's really emotional moments as well, which I was surprised in. Mark Hamill, phenomenal as Luke Skywalker. My favorite part in this entire movie is Mark Hamill. He was phenomenal in this movie. Speaking of phenomenal, the direction by Rian Johnson. His direction is so different than on a Star Wars movie. In fact, there weren't as much transitions as we see in the other Star Wars films, you know, with the circle and all that stuff. We get to see a bit of cut shots as well. But the Rian Johnson's direction and its dialogue was phenomenal. It was fantastic. I keep saying phenomenal, it's really weird. I'll say it's fantastic. It's really great, and I also love the cinematography as well. The shots look amazing, and the CGI and the special effects, amazing. The whole movie was full of special effects, and this movie must be the hardest movie to make, because the effects of this movie are freaking impressive. And what I like about this movie as well is that it's not an action movie, actually. Like, The Force Awakens is a full-on fun adventure action film. This film is more of an adventure drama. There are some really good chemistries, and there are some really emotional moments. This movie, right from the first bit of the movie, there weren't any lightsaber fights at all. There's just, some TIE fighter scenes and basically chemistry. Which, I'm not saying that's a bad thing, that's amazing. Because we get to see all the characters, and the cast is too much, and we focus on different characters, and that would drive me nuts. No, not in this movie. All the characters are very clear. We like most characters in the film. We focus on the First Order, and we focus on the Resistance, and we focus on Rey and Finn's adventure. It's not rushed at all. And this movie is long, but it deserves to be long, because if it wasn't, this movie would have been so rushed. Star Wars The Last Jedi, totally bet this year. I enjoyed this movie. I would go out and see this movie again. This movie totally was my favorite movie this year. Probably my favorite Star Wars film, the sequel trilogy. I can't wait for the film one, since J.J. Abrams is returning to direct. Freaking excited for that. And this movie was phenomenal. The ending of the film, the ending was probably one of the most awesome endings I've seen this entire year. Guys, of course, The Last Jedi gets an A+. So guys, that is it with my Star Wars review so far. So guys, thank you guys for watching my Last Jedi review. I want to know what you think of The Last Jedi in the comments below. I'm sure a lot of people are going to go out and see it. So guys, make sure to subscribe to my channel, and may the Force be with you.